So guys, we told you before, when it comes to sourcing these older Burgundies that we're working with, you got to kiss a lot of frogs to find a few princes, you know what I mean? So this is another one of those instances where we did kiss a few frogs. And you know, the thing is, a lot of people think, oh, it's Burgundy. There's no frogs in Burgundy. Well, it's quite the opposite. There's a lot of frogs in Burgundy. The problem is the princes are that much more handsome when you do find them. So fact of the matter is, we did bump into a really handsome prince here with the Charles Noellat 2007 Nuits St. George. This is a wine that we weren't expecting to come out on top of our most recent tastings we did in Burgundy last year. And it did, shockingly enough. But that's Burgundy for you, especially when it comes to Stéphane Moreau's sourcing, where he's like a take-all type guy. We discussed this before with the Osé d'Os that we sold last time around. He's a bit of a, you got the butt, I got the seat. And that's kind of the deal here, where he can grab these wines, clean them up, put them together, and then resource them, find them their proper homes internationally. So with regards to the US, with regards to us, the 07 Nuits St. George was baller. Now, the key thing here is this is a sneaky, underrated vintage. You know, people had a huge hangover with 2005. And fact of the matter is, it took folks a couple years to get over just how great 2005 was as a year. A lot of wine was sold, a lot of people were really happy, and their Burgundy parts of their cellars were completed. And this little guy, this as a vintage as a whole, kind of slipped under the radar. It was a warm year, a generous year, juicy wines, reminiscent of, you know, as Steve alluded to in the article, 2001 a little bit, but maybe even more like 2000 or 98, you know, these years that were pleasing, generous, fruit-forward years that delivered just wonderful, engaging Burgundies that maybe didn't have the gravitas of a 5 or 9 or 10, but in the end, these wines, because of their balance, have withstood the test of time. The 2007 Nuits St. George, sourced from Charles Noellat, is fantastic. Beautiful wine, actually quite rich, quite supple for a village level Nuits St. George wine, and a wine that completely delivers the goods on all fronts. We were like shocked how brilliant this wine was when we did our tastings and how forward, supple, and accessible it is. And the wine has some size, actually. You know, Nuits St. George is known for having wines of structure and power and richness. Well, in this case, you got the richness, but you don't necessarily have the bony aspects of Nuits St. George. The tannins are super fine here, yet the wine has a wonderful, engaging, kind of dark black cherry quality to it. A bigger, bolder style of Burgundy, if you will, but the 17 years of bottle age has kind of, you know, pulled that, kind of throttled that back a little bit, and now you're getting the nuance and secondary characters that you get from classic older Burgundy. I mean, what a friggin' wine for 45 bucks. I mean, we're seeing Burgundy prices in the 21s and 22s. You can't touch Village Nuits St. George from any respectable producer for less than probably $60, $65 a bottle nowadays. So this wine's actually 20 bucks less than what the current good vintages are, and you got 17 years in the bottle already. Again, we always recommend using a Durand cork puller, something, an older style of cork puller. Although if memory serves, Stéphane might have recorked this one. If memory serves, there might be fresh DM corks in these bottlings. He might have gone through it bottle by bottle. I'm trying to remember. I know the Osé d'Os, I don't think was recorked, but the Nuits St. George might have in fact been recorked. Regardless, have that also or Durand handy when you're opening these older wines. Always, it's a must. And you know what? Enjoy the hell out of this one right now. It'll keep for a few years more, absolutely, but the fact of the matter is this wine drinks so well now, there's literally no reason to wait. We didn't.